everyone, to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Charlene Murphy, intuitive and founder of Enchanted Empath. Let me open up my chat. I want to welcome everybody in. So I used to do Tarot Tuesdays every Tuesday a couple of years ago, like clockwork, and then I stopped doing them because of family issues and whatnot. But I am back. So feel free to chime in your questions. I typically give priority to people who email me their questions first, because then I can collect them and be more prepared. But I will do my very best to monitor the chat at the same time. So join me every Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time and get a free mini reading. And so it's not always tarot, it's a variety of oracle cards that I use, along with my intuition, of course. So you are welcome to ask questions about yourself, world events, spirituality, metaphysics, your spirit guides, your angels, all those things. So whatever is on your mind and in your heart, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to connect with my guides, your guides, and see what messages come through for you. Okay, so this is fun to be back. Nancy Plummer says hello, and I say hello back. So awesome. Okay, I do have, actually, I wanted to start with just a little concept before I dig into the questions, and so that everybody can kind of get rolling in as well. And what I wanted to talk about today is the field that we live in. So I get a lot of my clients who ask, how do I connect better with spirit? A lot of people I see struggle, feeling like spirit or their spirit guides or that divine intelligence energy, God, whatever name you call it, but it is massive. A lot of people have a challenge with understanding or connecting with it or feeling disconnected from it. And so I wanted to just touch on that before we dive into the questions. And it also answers how intuitives can do this work and how channelers can do the work that they do. And it's because we're all living in the same stuff. We're all living in this cosmic field. I call it the cosmic soup, right? And so this divine intelligence permeates the entire universe and then some, right? I mean, who knows how vast and wide this is, but I know that we're all connected to it. It is our life force. It is this divine intelligence that grows the grass, the same divine intelligence that beats your heart, that grows your fingernails, that gestates the babies, that, governs the orbits of the planets, that does all the things, where the animals tap into it intuitively. They don't have free will like we do, so they're always plugged in, just constantly plugged in, always with their basic divine instinct, I call it. I feel that that's more instinctual versus us. It's more subtle, and to me, that's intuition. There's a little bit of difference, but it's from the same source. It's from the same intelligence, right? So the animals that know where to fly during the winter, that know where to get their food, that know where to hibernate, and all of this stuff without instructions, they're plugged into their divine nature. Well, we are part of that same plan. We are part of the same stuff. And so I think what happens is that humans have a tendency to compartmentalize and to think that we're different, but we're not. We're a part of this big cosmos. And so we can understand and see through nature, by observing nature, how all of this is kind of working. We can get a glimpse into it, right? And then we can get a deeper understanding when we really do tap into spirit and ask those big questions. And that's why a lot of us are here to do this work, so we can bring those answers to the planet, so that you can feel your guidance system, so that you can understand that you are never alone, that you are constantly guided, and that anything that we need to know or anything that we want to pursue or to understand is available to us, right? There's other things in play like divine timing, and our ability to understand. So I think all of this information is here for us, but then the question is, how good is the receiver, right? We have to understand our human limitations and our subconscious mind. There's a lot going on here, but the bottom line is that we are all connected to spirit, that divine intelligence energy that courses through our veins, and it is just our breath. It is a breath away. So one of the easiest ways to connect with spirit and to our spirit guides is to breathe. Just breathe it in. And as you're breathing in, you're remembering, and my motto for my business is remember your divine intelligence, your inner intelligence. I mean, you're more powerful than you realize. And so when you breathe in, you are breathing in spirit, you are breathing in the life force energy, the essence, God, so to speak. And so it's through our intuition that we hear the voices or we receive the messages from spirit, that is always communicating with us. And so from our perspective, from the human perspective, connecting with spirit is as easy as just acknowledging that you already are. And just, we're human. So we have our to-do list, we have our jobs, we have our groceries to buy, we have our kids to pick up at school, we have all those things, right? And so spirit isn't upset with us that we're not hearing everything that they're putting down. They're very generous in giving us continuous signs, feelings, nudges, insights, psychic hits, whatever you want to call them. They come in a zillion kinds of ways because they're the best teachers on the planet, and they know that we all have individual learning styles, right? So they're speaking to us in the best way possible that we can receive it. And they will continue to do that, as they know what we really are seeking or wanting or desiring. And so they're whisper, they're kind of subtle. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they're pretty loud, but most of the time the messages are subtle. And so to just remember that you're always connected, and then consciously, when you have a minute, make that connection. When you're washing dishes, when you're driving your car, when you're mowing the lawn, when you're sitting in meditation, if you have the time to do that, when you're taking a restroom break at work, when you're having your lunch, when you're blessing your food, there's many opportunities during the day where we can connect with spirit and remember our connection. They have not forgotten us, and they will never forget us. They understand that we're busy and that we have a subconscious program running at the same time. And so it takes a little bit of an effort to tune in. Whereas the animal kingdom clearly doesn't have that situation going on. They're always just connected, right? But the difference between us and them is that we have free will and creativity and a lot of perks that go with that. So, it's a balancing act, and it's a fun one, I would say. So, um keep that in mind when you're just going through your day, knowing that there's no right, there's no wrong way to connect. I think religion was invented as a way, a means, a place for us to connect. Not necessary, right? God isn't in a place, a location, but it is a focal point. So you can do the same thing with focal points in creating your own altar, in setting some flowers, in having visuals to remind you so that you can bring your focus in and give your spirit guides thanks. The easiest thing to do is just say, thank you. Wow, you guys are amazing. I say that every day. You guys are so amazing, because they help me with the big things, with the little things, the tiniest even things, right? Size does not matter when it comes to spirit and their help. So tap in, and next time you have an issue that you think you have to figure out on your own, stop. Stop the presses and say, okay, spirit, help me out with this, because I understand that you have a much better perspective than I do. Mine is limited. So show me the best course of action. Show me the way. And lo and behold, with patience and with a little bit of practice, you'll start to notice the messages that come through strong. They will be, you'll be, like, oh, that was for me. That was clearly for me. Because then you'll start to see these coincidences that are just too hard to deny. And I don't believe in coincidences, obviously. And so when you see these coincidences happen, then you know that that was actually a sign from spirit for you. And then your life just becomes really magical because you do this all the time. And then you realize that, oh, you were so loved and so embraced and so guided by your spiritual team. And by the way, you don't have to know who they are, because I don't think they are a who. I think, our human nature is to personify everything so we can understand it, which makes good sense. But they're not really a who, and they don't have names. But we can name them so that we can access them easier, just like we named God. Is God really God's name? I don't think so. But it's a word that we can use to conceptualize or name a concept, right? A label. So I see that as labels. So don't get caught up in who and what their name is and all that stuff. Just connect. It's just a collective them. And we don't need to really know. Sometimes, though, our spirit helpers can be our ancestors, and then it's a different frequency, and then we can kind of, hey mom, is that you, kind of stuff. But they're here to give us the same advice that they would when they were here in the flesh. And then our spiritual entourage, our team, our master teachers, I would say the spiritual greats, the angels, the higher realms, they are a they. So just just talk to them and just say, you guys are awesome, you guys are amazing. Okay, so I do have some questions that I kind of want to get into, but I do want to tell you a little story. I have to tell this story as to why I say that that's okay. So back when I first started my practice in about 2010, I lived in Long Beach, California, and we did yoga at the Bluff out overlooking the ocean. And I was wondering, I went to a Kundalini yoga class, and I remember I knew the teacher, and she's just like this normal woman who runs a business, and she's really cool. And then when she's teaching the Kundalini yoga, though, she's wearing a turban and she's all in white and all this. And I thought, and I'm in my gym clothes, and I thought, oh, am I being disrespectful to spirit? Do I need to get more formal? Do I need to put on a uniform? Do I need to wear a turban? Do I need to change my name? Am I being an a-hole for just being really like casual and nonchalant with my spiritual team? Because I just call them my entourage. I call them. I'm very informal. And I thought, I need to probably up my game, because maybe I'm being rude and disrespectful, and that's the last thing I want to do. And so I'm in yoga at the Bluff, and I'm down in downward dog, and I feel my hands are over my mat, and I feel something metal on the ground, and I pick it up, and it is a bottle top from a Doritos Mexican soda pop, right? And their motto on there is "Que buenos son," or "Que son buenos." I can't remember. It's been a long time, but I looked it up, and it was like, it means they're so good. And and well, I knew, actually, because I studied Spanish when I was a kid, so I knew immediately what it meant. And then I went home and verified it. But when I saw that they're so good, I started to cry immediately, because that's what I say all the time. It's like, you guys you guys are so good. You're so good just showing me and helping me all the time. Like I don't have to figure anything out by myself. I never feel that pressure. And I laughed and I cried at the same time because it's like not only are they not caring what I call them, they're bilingual, they're this, they're that, they don't care, you know. So I got this very strong message that it's like, it's okay. You just call us. We don't care. Just call me. Right. So you can call them whatever you want. And I know that they have a sense of humor and they don't really care what we call them. Just call them. Okay. Enough of that. All righty. So let's go ahead and get into the questions for you all. Uh, let's see. Vashishanta. Did I say your name right? Vashishanta. And I have Ari. I have, not quite sure what that one is. And then Nancy. And then I have a couple of questions that already came through on my email list. So those guys get top priority, guys, because I already have them. And so if you want to do that, you can always email me, get on my list, and I will most definitely prioritize your questions and requests. It's just easier for me to organize like that. Okay, so let's see. Let me read these questions. One is from Vivi. All right, so Vivi says, Dear Charlene, I'm so happy to see you back in tarot action. Yay! Offering your valuable insights and good advice from Spirit. Yes. She says, I have a question for Spirit. What does the universe have in store for me going forward? I sense a shift in energy. Okay, good question for 2025, right? So let's bust open the cards. So for today, I'll go ahead and use my trusty handy dandy tarot, my classic lovely tarot. Love, love, love. That just really resembles our human nature, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Good stuff. So when you don't want a candy-coated message, I suggest using the classic tarot. Okay. All right, so Vivi, what does the universe have in store for me moving forward? I sense a shift. Let's go ahead and tap in and know that the messages here are intended for our highest evolution, our highest good, knowing that it's all good. It's all from Spirit. Okay, so let's see what we have. Vivi, we have King of Swords here for you. So King of Swords is all about clarity. It's all about that crown chakra opening, that vision for yourself, knowing exactly spot on who I am, where I'm going, what I'm doing. The vision is 100% on point. There's no wavering. There's no doing things that you should be doing in quotations. There's only the things that you want to do. So I see that well, first of all, your crown chakra is your highest ally for you personally. You're very intelligent, you're very heady, and so you're a really good problem solver. And this is going to be very clear that anything that doesn't align with your vision for yourself and how you like to process things are just going to fall away. So the struggle, basically, I see for you is over. You are at a point of attraction moving forward with just your life experience and the way that you perceive things and your value system. It's very lined up, very solid, very secure. So moving forward, you're just not going to be in the bandwidth of or the frequency of anything that doesn't resonate with you. right? And your higher self. This also, I've been talking a lot about this lately. I think I'm going to do a class on it, how to become a human lie detector. This is a part of the process. So with that clarity of purpose, the clarity of mind, the clarity of who I am and what I stand for and what I'm here to do, also opens up your ability to read energy and to read the intentions behind people's words. I always say energy never lies. People do, but energy never lies. And so when you can get this clarity of mind and have that crown chakra awakening and third eye awakening, they're very intertwined with the pituitary and the pineal glands. You, is it the pituitary? Yes. And so then you can read energy, and anything that is like, things that make you go, raise your eyebrows. I don't know. I don't think so. Now you're going to be in a place where you trust it absolutely. So that's big news. So here you go. And so, the beauty of this question is, and the answer for everybody else listening, is that you don't have to be a professional intuitive to want to develop this skill. This skill serves everybody. This skill is your natural tendency. It's the natural way of us being. I really do believe and know that we were all born with a high intelligence, kind of like the animals. Look at your pets for clues. um right. And then with our culture and our society, it's not valued anymore, and it's kind of taught out of us. And so then we start to lean on our linear thinking brain instead of our intuitions, right? So then we have to relearn or remember our inner brilliance and remember how intuitive we really are, and then take the leap into trusting it. So Vivi, it's very, very clear that you are going to be in a really heightened awareness, a big, so I would say a spiritual awakening as far as your consciousness goes, as far as reading energy, as far as being that human lie detector and really trusting it. I think that's the missing piece for you. I think you've always been this, but you didn't trust it. And so now you're moving into the realm of trusting it and relying on it, just like a science. Instead of thinking that it's something far out and woo-woo, you're bringing it in and you're going, I resonate with this. It's true. And it's the higher truth. So there you go. I love that for you. That's good stuff. Okay. Let's do my next question. And then I'll hit the ones that are online. Okay, guys, thanks for being patient and hanging in here. And guess what? When I'm answering other people's questions, you can guarantee that you're going to be able to glean information for yourself, even if I don't even get to you. But I probably will. The messages are always coming. So Megan asks, will I have to move out of my house in the next 6 months? Thanks so much. Looking forward to tuning in. Okay, Megan, let's look. Will I have to move out of my house in the next 6 months? Sorry for all the shuffling noise. No, I'm not. All right, Megan. Tapping into Megan. Thank you, Spirit, for giving her insight and information. And I'm going to pull the top card, or the bottom card of the top. Okay, and that is Sun. So the sunshine is one of the most positive cards. So unless you want to move, you don't have to, but I'm getting that no, you're not going to. The Sun card is that the universe has your back, that everything is going well. It's interesting because your question energy is waiting for the other shoe to drop. The answer is there's no shoes to drop. You're good. Spirit always has your back. And so this is a reminder. I mean, look at the energy of this. It's solar plexus energy. It's remembering who you are. It's knowing that spirit has your back and tapping into that childlike part of you, your inner child. This inner child stuff is so important, guys. It's not just to heal ourselves from our past traumas, it's to tap into our imaginations. Do you remember how imaginative you were when you were little? So, Megan, Spirit is saying, remember your imagination and tap into your imagination and imagine what you want. Because what you're doing is when you're waiting for the other shoe to drop or worried about something, you're using your imagination upside down and backwards. You're projecting an idea, a thought into the universe. And guess what? That divine intelligence that we're swimming in is picking up what you're putting down and it is giving it back to you. And it's not judging. It doesn't judge. It's not saying, well, I don't know, she doesn't deserve to live there. She's, it's just reflecting back exactly the thoughts that you're putting out. It's that simple. And so if we're putting out energy of fear and will I have to move and homelessness and all this other stuff, and then we are going to get that back to us. We are going to attract that energy back to us in form, in physical form. So it's not in our best interest to do that at all. And so this is what my work is all about. It's about really helping everybody redirect our energy into a positive place, redirecting those thoughts and those ideas, getting heady, just like Vivi, you getting clear and being able to monitor and control our thought processes before the subconscious and before the fears run away and create havoc in our lives, right? And so if we can get ahead of that and be conscious and aware and intentional and use our imaginations like we did when we were little, we can visualize our outcome and what we want and how we want things to be. I feel that you want to stay in your home. I feel that you don't want to move. So you can use your imagination to visualize you staying there and everything being cool and everything being copacetic and the landlords being happy and the rent being paid on time and all of the things, and just bask in the things that you want. And then those things will be return to you, right? And so it's just like a ping pong game, guys. Whatever we're putting out there in the universe is coming right back. It's like the law of reciprocity, the law of attraction. They're kind of similar, but we are attracting to ourselves whatever we're thinking about. Think about this. Think about microwaves, Wi-Fi, all of that energy that's out there. We can't see it, but here's proof right here that it's working, right? It's channeled into a stream and then it's harnessed and then we can manipulate and use it. Our thoughts are the same exact things. They are units of mental energy going out into a responsive universe that is returning to us what we are sending. So my thing is, be careful what you're sending, right? And we don't have to be nervous and paranoid about it, because we are human. And so we're getting other information to put us on alert. And so maybe we can adult and we can have a plan, make sure we pay our rent on time, make sure we do this, make sure we do that, but then we get into the more childlike part of seeing the bigger picture and imagining our best outcome, right? And staying there. So I hope that helps, but yeah, very positive card, very sunshiny card. So just play, have fun, do the adulting part, of course, we have to, but then redirect yourself right back into that unlimited you, the unlimited version of yourself that you knew you were when you were little. Okay. Let's go ahead and answer some questions that are online. So Amber asks, will I meet my Mr. Right this year? Thank you, love and light. Of course, love it. Okay, Amber. Tapping into spirit. Will I meet my Mr. Right this year? Thank you, Spirit, for your clear, concise answers. Okay, we're going to do the same process. We have the Four of Pentacles. Is that clear and concise? Not to me. The Four of Pentacles really speaks of that financial stability. Okay, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with this and then probably pull another clarifier. So the Four of Pentacles is about you making sure that you are budgeted and balanced, and feeling balanced in your health, in your finances, and all of that. So another message that I'm getting is, clarifying your intentions about why we're attracting Mr. Right, right? Are we needing a savior? Are we wanting somebody to come and rescue us? Or are we really wanting that partnership and that love energy and all of that? And so in order for us to attract our partner, our 50-50, I like to say, then we have to be that which we want to attract. And so what I'm hearing from spirit is make sure that you're budgeting and you're feeling secure and safe and balanced in your own right first in order to attract your person. Okay, now I just kind of want a yes or a no, right? So there's the step to it. And once we do that, it feels like it's the last part, the last frontier, the last part of your journey, to clean things up in order to be a really powerful point of attraction for what it is that you're wanting in a mate or partner. Mate, that sounds so archaic. Okay, yes or no? Just give me a yes or no. Success, that's a yes. So clean it up, get your finances in order, do the balance deal, budget, all of that, and then yes. Okay. So that's a very specific message about getting your money stuff in order. Sorry to get so personal. Okay. That's what happens when we're here, right? Okay. Megan says that was so helpful. Good. I'm so glad. Sometimes I feel like, oh no, am I going over the border with too much personal information here? Okay, let me look on YouTube and see if there's any questions there, because a lot of times on my app here, they don't necessarily come through. Okay, let's go to my channel. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I really hope that you guys, oops. I really hope. I don't want to listen to myself. I really hope that your year is going well. And I'm going to put this down. I really wish and hope that your heart is okay with all of the politics that are going on right now. And part of the work that we do here, I talked about it earlier, is redirecting our energy, redirecting our wants and desires instead of reacting in fear to things that might be scary, to redirect our energy into what it is we want instead. We're in such a more powerful place when we do that. Now, I will be the first to admit that I was shaking in my boots and I was scared and I was in a place of fear at the election. Not going to lie, and since then, I have done the work to shift myself into a more positive place, and to know that there's the human condition, our human nature, our human spirit is so much bigger than the American spirit. The American spirit is just one energy, right? But it doesn't define the human experience and the human, just because a lot of us are, from or live in the United States, that does not define us. And so I came to that conclusion just by looking at going beyond that and pulling out the lens and saying, well, yeah, that's a part of who I am, but that's not the entirety. The entirety is that we are human spirit, and our human spirit is amazing, like I was talking about at the beginning, and it trumps any kind of BS on the American plane, on that lower level. It is a lower level, guys. And so what I know about evolution and spirituality and all of the things in the years that I have studied this work, I know that evolution moves in one direction, doesn't go back. It goes up and forward, right? And so progress is always moving and evolving and going in a upward trajectory. And look at how far and expansive we as a nation have become, and so I think it's incorrect to think that we would actually go backwards. There might be like 2 or 3 steps forward, maybe a stumble back, but then 3 or 4 more steps forward as a result of that stumble that we didn't like, because our human spirit says no, not on this watch. And that to me has so much tremendous more power than anything else. Okay, let's see what else. So I'm going to call you Vashi. Vashi, would you like a reading? Would you go ahead and answer your question? And then Ari, the Aries princess. Hey, hey. You feel free to chime in your questions. Yeah, and let me know what is on your mind and in your heart and what you would like to discuss. And then there's Lynn. She says, hello. Hey, Lynn. And this is from Facebook. So we have 2 things going on here, guys. We have Facebook and we have YouTube streaming. And so I'm having to check my phone to make sure that I'm getting all of the messages from YouTube. And it looks like it's working pretty well. So I'll be continuing this format moving forward on our Tarot Tuesdays. Okay, so if I don't have any other questions, I don't want to hold anybody hostage with my soapboxing, right? But I do want to leave you with this. I want to say that remember your inner brilliance. Just remember how wired you are and what a magnificent co-creator you are with spirit, with the universe. And so look around you today. This is your homework. And anything that is not feeling good or feeling out of place, or that you would prefer not to be, take a moment to, instead of cursing that, which, by the way, when you're cursing that, you're actually growing it. Remember, whatever we're thinking about and putting energy into is being broadcast right back to us. Redirect yourself. Go into that childlike place of yours in your wild imagination that is unlimited, and imagine what you would prefer instead. And as you are doing this preference work, you're paving the way, you're creating a new reality. Your thoughts are going places. They are being created out there, guys. This stuff is scientific magic. It's practical magic, and we're always doing it all the time. So I would say, if we're always doing it, do it with intention, do it with vision, do it with whatever it is that your heart desires in mind. Okay, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and invite you to check back in next Tuesday at 11, and then get on my mail list. Go to my website, charlenemurphy.com. You'll see where you can sign up to be on my email list, or you can get a free printable or get anything like that, take a quiz, and you'll automatically be put on my email list. That way you'll know what's coming up. I decided for 2025 for myself I heard that instead of being afraid of what is transpiring around me, to bring the light. There's a lot of light to be brought. And so doing my job as a light worker, as a bringer of the light and the goodness and the positive stuff that exists, I decided to share way more and be much more visible on YouTube and Facebook in means of live streams and workshops and even like tarot parties, happy hour, moon ceremonies, all kinds of fun stuff that we can do to build our community so that we can rest and lean on each other and create a really strong and powerful 2025 and then some. All right, everybody. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your precious time, your precious heart with me. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. All right, take good care. Bye for now.